G'day guys, Josh here. You guys are having a great day so far. So we're gonna go with one of my Kungelanium, highlights here. We're gonna go through a strategy guide. So basically, you can see me here is probably first day of it as well. We're not sure what we're doing. Actually, no, it's actually the second day, funnily enough. And we weren't too sure of what we're doing. Let's just upgrade it to 1080p, okay? Let's up the quality so you can see a bit more clearer. So for this boss, you need a pheromone bomb, as that guy's linked in chat. Okay, the items you want is a pheromone bomb. You do want a flare to find out where he is at the start. You do want destruction bombs, and you do want elemental potions, okay? Those are the three things that you must need for this boss to make this boss as quickly as you can. Otherwise, it's just going to be pain, okay? So at the start of the boss fight, he's basically like Chromanium with a lot of, moves with his feet and body slams like that. But he has two extra moves, which he can rush backwards suddenly and you get hit. And also, not to mention as well, he has a frost breath in front of him. And he also conjures a frost orb to chase you. So maybe three different things, okay? So if a frost orb does chase you, you basically cut it out of the raid. Once the frost orb touches you, it'll create a frozen vortex on the ground. And if you stand in that frozen vortex, you take damage and then get frozen. Now, also, he does a shot as well at the start of the fight where he shoots on him. If you get hit by it, you also get chill as well, and you also take a lot of damage, like I did just then. So it's just like Chromanium. He does fire stuff. There's the orb being fired as well, and you want to kite that orb away and create a vortex elsewhere. He also does a frost breath as well and a body slam, and this is just phase one. So phase one is just to start. Basically, what you're trying to do is you're trying to destroy your shell. So make sure you're using, if you go to corrosive, have one person use a corrosive. If you have someone using a destruction bomb, get them to use destruction bombs. Make sure you always use your destruction abilities at the moment, because once you destroy the shell, the real fight starts to begin. So basically, after the shell is destroyed, he basically gains a few new abilities. One of these abilities being creating geysers in the ground. And as you can see, there's the shell blowing off right now. He gets staggered when the shell does blow off. You can now do full damage to him, and you can see I'm just absolutely destroying him. So he does develop one new ability, which is geysers. He'll spawn random geysers on the ground. He also can now have blizzards firing from the sky and hitting you as well in a cross pattern. Also, he also digs like this immediately. When he does dig like this, make sure you throw a pheromone bomb down so he comes back to the same location. Otherwise, you'll just be wasting time chasing him around. Now, the other thing as well, that he can do a extra mechanic where he basically spawns an ice ring around him. So you'll see this ice ring circle probably during this fight as well, where you need to destroy a few ice spikes and get out of it, because after a certain amount of time, he'll drop a giant ice shot on you. During this time as well, is that there'll be little ice mini pits on the ground that you need to avoid. So basically what you need to do is you basically need to avoid them as you destroy the icicles to get out. You've got a lot of time to get out, so don't worry too much about it, okay? You can do, some damage to him, but make sure you go away out when he does the shot on himself. Now, the other ability is to do with geysers. So you spawn 4 geysers and immediately your screen will be frosted up. You need to head to one of these geysers and step on it and become frozen, okay? Frozen is its own debuff as well. Frozen has its own debuff where basically you become petrified and you can't do anything for 2 seconds. Also as well, this is the crisscross attack I was talking about. You can get hit by this and you can become frozen. This is also the frozen debuff as well, that if you get frozen, you generate a circle aura around you, and anyone in that circle aura will be frozen. So effectively what you need to do is you need to run out of it as quick as you can and don't hit anyone. He also has a few counterable mechanics. One of them is he'll become a turret basically, where you shoot things from the sky. You just need to avoid those and avoid the breath in general. And here comes an example of it, but we do counterattack it in the end, where he is trying to become a turret in the ground. If he becomes a turret in the ground, just avoid him. Okay, just avoid the stuff on the ground as well. Now, with the frozen mechanic as well, so, of course, it protects you from a ultimate ability of his. And at the same time, talk about the ultimate ability. This is the ultimate ability. Just get to the geyser and just wait for it to blow up, and it'll freeze you, and you avoid it, okay? And I get ultra excited here to say, get in the geyser, get in the geyser, get in the geyser. Generally, I look for the top left and top right geysers to get. Every time he does the geyser, or every time he hits a health percentage, he will try to go to another area. So generally, I believe the hit points are is when you blow up his shell, 66% and 33% when he will try to go down. And those, I believe, the health barriers, given the fact that he essentially, like, we did our damage towards the end of it. So I feel like there's a health interval that he'll try to go to another area. Overall, Kungelanium the turtle is a very, very easy boss fight. As long as you have the battle items, it can be very, very quick. Main thing is that, you do want to support. Our support helps immensely here as well. You also do want to get the counters going as well, especially if he goes into turret mode. Because if he goes into turret mode, it makes your life extremely, extremely difficult. And also, if people aren't dodging, the orbs and stuff like that, and getting hit by the boss and not dodging the ice cubes falling to the sky, it can be quite hard as people become frozen and chilled and basically make your life a living hell. That's pretty much it. You didn't see the turret form here either, or the icicle phase as well. Basically, we'll just stop the video there. Basically, the icicle phase will be a ring of ice around everyone on the field. I'll basically show you guys, quickly just go back to where the boss is up. Basically, an icicle field will come around like this. You have little ice mini zones like this. You need to destroy the icicles. After a while, it'll be a giant frost zone. You need to avoid that. Okay, that's the other thing as well. There's also the turret form where he'll do a counter where you can counter him and it'll go dig into the ice and become a turret and shoot stuff from the sky. Basically, he'll shoot 5 volleys that will follow you, and the last volleys will land anywhere, and he'll also drop geysers. So be aware of that as well. So those are the 2 other mechanics that weren't shown here today, and that's pretty much the boss fight. I know I've gone, here and there and stuff like that, but I hopefully understand all the mechanics. So the main mechanics are for, to destroy a shell. After you destroy a shell, he'll try to burrow. After he tries to burrow, he'll go into the next phase where he can spawn geysers. He can do the frost ring counter attack. He can also drop stuff from the sky, and which you've got to avoid, which I call cross. And last but not least, he can do the insta-kill mechanic, which is the one where your screen freezes up and you have to get to a geyser and freeze yourself, otherwise you basically die. And also, last but not least, is the frozen mechanic, which is basically mean if you do get frozen during the fight, other than geyser, that you need to just run away from people. And if you see someone get frozen during the fight as well, make sure you run away from them, because if you get caught in the AoE, you become frozen too, and it can spread and spread and spread. You don't want it spreading, because if it hits everyone, then you're basically a raid wipe, because you keep chaining each other non-stop. That's it for Kungelanium, or the turtle, the frost turtle. Hope you guys have a great day. I think it's Kungelanium anyway. Hope you guys have a great day and a great evening. Like, comment, subscribe if you liked the video. If you didn't, well, I don't know. See you guys later. Bye.